Massive issues unfolding in the Roczen saga. Ken Roczen, bro, dude, guess what, man? People don't like you right now, especially your fellow riders. They're pissed. They're like, Ken Roczen stole the offseason. We all know that. All the normal stuff that we'd normally be watching, we're not right now. It's less interesting to us. And guess what? A lot of riders, because today, we've talked about this, like this is going to be a historical season. But today's rider has a social, and back in the day, like even when I was involved with the sport at the level I was involved in, like you maybe had a Facebook page for your rider, a like page, a fan page for your rider. And we'd put this rider print clothing, whatever we could. We try to, have a social media digital footprint so we could capitalize more sponsorship dollars saying, hey, we've got a social media footprint. And so it was like for a lot of the riders back then, I was like, hey, man, it's not so much how big it is. It's just having a digital footprint. If somebody searches your name, you've got to have at least a fan page. And that was probably the extent of it. But now the machine that's become social media and primarily YouTube, but even your Insta and TikTok, wherever you're at. I mean, there's a lot of these guys now that are juicing it, like Jet Lawrence and Danger Boy. They don't even do any of their own social media like you or me, where we have to handle. They got handlers. It's all a machine. Some paid company creating all their content, doing all their editing, dumping it on there. We can promise that we can get your videos to go viral, and this is how. They're paying somebody to do it. It's all paid promotion stuff. So the reality is this. The other riders right now are suffering because Kenny dominated the offseason. He stole clicks and views away from. So if, which we're going to talk about in a second, if he even makes it to A1 this year or Supercross at all, because now there's a big question mark on that, the riders aren't going to be in love with Kenny anymore. A lot of riders kind of felt bad for Kenny. They liked Kenny. He was a nice guy, but all of a sudden it looks like his machine, his handlers, his agent, his publicist, his nutritionist, his this, his that, his lawyers, everybody is juicing this off-season momentum, trying to spin it for clicks and views. But here's the elephant in the room. You want to know why he hasn't revealed his bike? Potentially, this is guesswork. This is guesswork, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Do you want to know why he hasn't revealed which bike he's going with? He's obviously in negotiations with multiple deals, right? So he's negotiating. Okay, well, maybe he's just negotiating, Scott. He's holding off for the best deal, the most money, which is dumb. You should never go for the money grab. So many riders I've seen in the industry, when we were sponsoring riders, hey, we're working on a deal. We're talking with sponsors. We're going to see how much we can get you this year to stay with the team. Oh, but I already got a deal over here for this, and it's more money, and so I'm going to go over that. And bad results. Kiss of death, end of their career. Had they stayed with the team that they had a synergy with and better results, they could have continued their career. Insanity. So that's what we're seeing right now out of Ken Roczen. But here's what's going on. He hasn't announced a bike yet because there's apparently a question mark if he's going to even be able to race. We've heard about it when he went to the European rounds, Australian Supercross rounds, these off-season events where he was just paid a flat rate. Here's $500,000. Come ride, Kenny. And Eli, the same thing. And speaking of Eli, he went to Star, remember? Left Cowie for less money, but he did his career a favor. He didn't go for the money grab. He went where he thought he would have synergy and happiness. So Kenny boy right now, one of the things that's going on is something doesn't pass the smell test. Why have you not announced? He's either a cut. It's so multi-layered. It's take your pick. Now becomes the percentage of likelihood. It's either A, he wants to continue to keep this under wraps so he can juice more clicks by teaser posts to try to string this along to the very end, or B, he's still in negotiations and he's holding out for the highest bidder, or C, he can't get a deal done because there's some drug testing issues that went on in the off season that could in fact keep him out of being able to race this season at all. So no company is going to sign a contract with you if there's a question mark that you're going to pay. They're not going to give you any upfront money, any incentives, any guaranteed money, any initial payments if there's a question mark that if you can even race. This might all be surfacing now because the next storyline we're going to hear, Kenny Roczen unable to race Supercross because of drug testing issues. Anything's possible at this point. You cannot rule it out. But to summarize what we've just covered today, friends, if and when he makes it to the track, the riders aren't going to embrace him the way he once did because he took money out of his pockets by doing this whole circus that he created on the off season. B, there's a good chance that that deal isn't done because he's still just going for the money grab, which in the past we've seen other riders that go for the money grab. It's their last season. That could be a potential situation for Kenny. And C, something's up. Something's up. A deal can't get done because this drug testing question mark is now circulating. But something doesn't pass the smell test. A lot to unpackage. This season's gonna be historic. Mark my final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as an industry guy, somebody who wants to see you not only win on the track, but off the track. Understand the waters we're swimming now are all moto politics at the highest level, never seen before. We got a lot to unpackage this season because the industry's in trouble, riders are in trouble, friction has been created. Now that there's a reopening back, everything now is about to shift and change. There's a lot of things that are going to develop this season. Like I said before, it's going to be historic. Buckle up and strap in because we're going to blow the lid off it every step of the way because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media link in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there. And if you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars today. I'll see you on the next video.